This is Rising Phoenix Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Rhodes. This podcast is for men struggling with an unwanted divorce. I interview experts on divorce, mental health, and I provide insights gained from my own divorce journey. You are not alone. Join me. Hello, and welcome to the show. This is episode 207. It's obviously a solo one, so let's cover these new locations. Kettering, Ohio. You listened to the last one, 206, which was Modern Dating is Broken, question mark. Next up, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. You listened to 205. Doesn't matter what she thinks. The answer is no. Third on the list, Haverfordwest, Pembrokeshire. Pembrokeshire. Shire? Yeah. Episode 43. That was a long fucking time ago. Responsibility and Walkaway Wives. I'm guessing that's in jolly old England somewhere. And last, but certainly not least, this place, listen to episode 206. Tamunig? Tamuning. No other, that's just it. One word. No, I guess that's a country somewhere. Fuck, I don't know. Thanks for listening. I hope that you got something out of those episodes and hope that you stuck around for a few more. I am going to cover, I think I talked about this a couple episodes ago. I'm going to cover, I think I'm going to call this one Dating Chronicles or some shit like that. I'm going to cover the experiences that I've had, the best that I can remember, over the last 6 years. I won't probably give you every detail of everything for a lot of reasons. One, I don't fucking remember everything. Two, I don't know if anyone that I've ever dated listens, but I don't have any intent in throwing them under the bus or being shitty in a way that can lead back to them. Not that I might not be shitty. If that's not the intent, but may happen. It's certainly absolutely not the intent. Before I touch on that, I do want to backtrack. I want to do two things here. I want to backtrack and talk about the last episode a little bit with Dr. Greg, because I feel like I didn't get to. I'm sure there have been episodes in the past where I've thought, man, I really wish I would have asked this or said this or done this. I'm sure of that. I don't remember a lot of those, but I'm sure it has happened. And I really wish we would have dove in. He really didn't want to talk about the responsibility or my view of the lack of responsibility from that I see personally from some of the women that I date. Not all, maybe all, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look at all of them, each one by one, but I just think that there is, if you're the leaver, and this can apply to men, but as we know statistically, it's women that are leaving. If you're leaving, you probably don't see yourself as part of the problem, right? It's the other person. So therefore, you think you have no need to work on yourself, to develop your relationship skills. At least that's what I have seen. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I've seen too much of it to not think that maybe this is the thing. Now, I'm a guy who loves data and facts and figures. And so I absolutely cannot say for sure that, and even if there would never be data that says all, right? There's never all of anything. So even if there was data that was strongly suggesting, I would take it with a grain of salt because where it's coming from and all those kinds of things. But what's the motivation? That's true of any, sadly, of any data we find in our lives currently and in the past. I don't know how many years. Everyone has an agenda. So anyway, I just think that there is something there, or at least I'm experiencing something around that. And it would have been cool to explore, and I'm not knocking the dude. It was just, it was clear I suppose he thought maybe I was trying to go down a. He didn't know me from Adam. I don't know if he listened to the podcast. I reached out to him. He wrote a pretty good article, and actually, the article or the blog that he wrote, we didn't even address. So that was my fault. I mean, it was still within his expertise, but I think he was probably worried I was going to go down some red pill rabbit hole. And you guys know that that's just not my thing. However, I do think that people should be held accountable. That's both sides, male and female, women and men. I mean, we're all culpable. We're all um, a part of the equation. So anyway, that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I wanted to say is I have not pivoted or shifted to focusing on dating. That is not what I'm doing. It just happened to be what I decided to do. And I'm starting to run out of interviews, and his was a pretty good one. And I did think it kind of leads into this solo series. By the way, when I say I'm running out of interviews, I really am. I only have a few, and I don't even know if those few are worthy. No offense to anyone that I interviewed. I doubt they listen anyway, but I'm not sure if they're going to come out. So I may skip some weeks, or I may hurry up and find some interviews, or I may continue this series through until its completion. The plan is only to do 3 episodes on this little dating chronicles thing. Well, hopefully someday I don't need to fucking do it, but maybe there'll be part 4, 5, and 6 later. Hopefully, fucking not. But we'll see. But I want to add a disclaimer here. If you're not at least, and I don't give a, people say, well, everyone's different, and I don't give a fuck. Wait 1 fucking year to date. If you're not at a year mark, you can skip these episodes, or then again, maybe this first one might be good for you because I'm gonna be truthful and honest on how it went, and maybe that will provide you with the information needed to make a decision that you shouldn't be dating either. There are certain things I think I can't remember the episode. Angela Skirtu was her name. I don't remember the number. She gave a great. I asked the question, "How do you know if you're ready to date?" And she gave a great answer. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I think it was if you are okay with being alone, you're not desperate. I don't think she said desperate, but I'll say that. If you feel like you're desperate, if you feel like you just need to have someone and then you'll be okay, do not fucking date. Find the nearest therapist or call me and I'll coach you. I think the other one was if you can stand on your, I'm paraphrasing, but I think essentially it was if you can be who you are and not try and contort yourself to make another person happy. Like if you know what you want and stick to it and have boundaries and all those things, if you can be your own person, then you're ready. And that takes work. So again, see a therapist or call me. So that's the disclaimer. If you're not a year out, at least do not date. If you have some of these other things that you're still working on, self-worth, self-esteem, now there's obviously degrees. And that's, I wish I could remember that episode number. I would look it up right now, but it would take too long. But Angela Skirtu, she had a great take on all this stuff. So look it up, listen to that one. So let's dive into this. I'll try to be factual and clear as I can be based on my fucked up, shitty Swiss cheese of a brain. The first person that I dated after my ex-wife left was approximately 3 weeks after my ex-wife left. So, and this person was sort of long-ish distance. And again, I won't go into too many details. I won't even give a name for this one or a fake name or anything because I didn't think of one. So I'm not going to sit here and think of one. It was the intent was to there wasn't really an intent. I mean, it was just I was looking for someone to soothe my wounds. That if I'm being honest, and it was a shitty thing to do in retrospect. I hurt that person. That was not my intent. I quickly realized after a month, like, well, I shouldn't say that. I had a wonderful, fantastic therapist who sadly passed away during COVID, not because of COVID. He had cancer, and he was just fantastic. And he was like, "You shouldn't be dating." Like, I think some therapists try to, I don't know if he said exactly that, but the message was clear. But I know a lot of therapists sort of try to dance around things and like try and not tell you what to do, but he was pretty clear in that what you're doing is not healthy or helpful for you. It's not going to help you heal. And so he made me realize that I was making a mistake. And so I broke it off and I upset this person and hurt this person. And that was not my intent. And I could tell you that when I was with that person, it was just debauchery and partying and bars and hotel rooms and it was fun, but it was hollow and it was empty. And I'm sorry to say that. I really hope they don't listen. I don't think they do. But that one lasted a month. It was just wrong, for lack of a better description. It was a mistake. And so if you're out there and you're having one of these sort of flingy type things, end it because you're not ready. So after that, I think it was another 3 months before. I'm not proud of any of these, just so you know. 3 months before I started dating other people. I think I can't remember if I consciously took time off or it was really hard to find someone. I don't remember, but oh God, no. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, so yeah, about 3 months, maybe. God, is that right? I met someone on a Facebook group, a mental health group, and God, I hope this person doesn't listen too. I flew them. I think they were from, I want to say Mississippi. I flew them to my house and they spent, I think, 4 days. And again, it was, it was fun, but it was an attempt to validate me, soothe my wounds, make me feel better, all those kinds of things. And I think I split the ticket with her. I don't think I paid for the full flight, so I wasn't that crazy. But again, it was a hollow attempt to try and make myself feel better about myself, and that did not end well. She basically flew home early because I told her to get the fuck out of my house, and I didn't know this person. What the fuck was I thinking? Anyway, shortly after that, that was about. Again, I'm not sure about timelines. I think that was about 4 months after, give or take. Shortly after that, in fact, oh man, I don't know if I should say this shit out loud. I took her to the airport and immediately went on another date. Um, and this person and then another person I dated both for I think a month and a half. And funny enough, they both had the same name, so that was fucking confusing. Um, and one of them, let's call them uh, Catherine, I guess. Both Catherines. One of them knew about the other one. The other one didn't know about the other one. I don't know if this level of detail is interesting or I don't. I hope I don't sound like a fucking jack off, but I'm just trying to be honest. The mess I was putting myself in and getting nothing from it. So I was dating two girls at the same time. One of them sort of knew, wanted a commitment ish from me, and I was like, no fucking way. And she split. And then, yeah, the other, what name did I call him? Catherine? The other Catherine and I did date for about, I think it was another month or two. I don't know. It's all foggy. And I broke it off because again, I knew I wasn't ready. It was wrong. I hope nobody listens to this. But if I'm being honest, God, I'm gonna sound like such a fucking asshole. I really lowered my standards just to have somebody to be with. And not that they were bad people. I mean, some of them maybe weren't the best, but like both Catherines were sweet. One of them was really sweet, and I broke her heart, and I didn't mean to. It was shitty, and I knew better in some ways, but I was just so broken, and I just wanted to have someone. I even had my kids around both of those girls, which was again fucking stupid. I was in this place where I really kind of wanted to rub my ex-wife's nose in it. And again, it's just I was such a child, but I was hurting, and the only thing I knew how to do was sort of get revenge, or not, maybe that's not the right word, but like just I just wanted to punish her, even though I'm sure she didn't fucking care. Obviously, she didn't care. Otherwise, she wouldn't have fucking left. Um, so once the second Catherine ended, I ended it, and then I took a break. I was like, this is not. I'm not. Things aren't good for me. Um, things aren't good for me at all. And shortly after that, I think is when I found the alpha code. Maybe not shortly. Maybe that was like another 4 months or something. I think. I think it was like 4 months, maybe five. Fuck, I don't remember. I think that's when I found the alpha code, and I sort of focused and worked on myself. I don't think there was any other dates or anything of that nature during that time. And then I started the podcast. And again, I won't be saying any names or hopefully not giving any clues, but I met someone through the podcast. Let's call her Sarah, just because that's not her name, and why not? Sarah lived long distance. I dated her maybe a month and a half. I flew out to spend time with her long weekends twice. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Probably the most beautiful woman I've ever been with, if I'm being honest. Again, I hope nobody fucking listens to this, including maybe any future. But it's on my dating profile of the podcast, so I don't know. Fuck it. She was very smart, very funny, very sweet, very beautiful. But we were long distance. She had younger kids. I have younger kids. It was not going to work. She broke it off, but I saw it coming because it wasn't sustainable. Did it hurt? Yeah, yeah, of course. But I knew it was coming. And she also, this is sort of where I get into thinking about things like doing the work and stuff. She was a walk-away wife. Now, it sounded like there was reason to walk away. He sounded like a douchebag, but I mean, of course, right? I'm sure if you asked my ex-wife about me, you're not going to get a flattering response or a flattering description. So you always have to take those things with a grain of salt. But she was a walk-away wife, and I think she had a therapist. I'm pretty sure she had a therapist. I think she was doing some work on herself, but she also had a dark side where she would snap and be real bitchy and real mean out of nowhere. And I think she was still working through. I can't remember how long it had been for her. I want to say maybe it was 2 years for her, but I could be completely wrong. We stayed in touch over the years, and then again she got real mean and shitty, and I was just like, okay. I believe she is remarried. I wish her nothing but the best. I had a wonderful time with her. I have a coffee mug in my kitchen that she actually bought me when I went out and visited her, and I think of her on occasion when I use it, but I don't think I had feelings. I think the intent was to find someone. Obviously, I don't think it was. I think maybe at that point there was still a little bit of. I hope my ex-wife knows about this, and I think that maybe will always exist to some degree. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't. I don't think. Not now that I think about it, I don't think I have that motivation now. I don't care. I mean, this is why I love the internal family systems type of therapy because there's so many different parts. I think it probably is a small part of me that would love to eventually be like, see, bitch, someone else wants me. I think, but it's a small part. It's certainly not a motivating. It's not the motivating factor. I think there was a time when it was, for sure, it was. But I don't think that's rare or different. I think we all experience that. And when we first get rejected, we want to show them, well, someone else will take me. But I don't have that motivation anymore. But and I don't think I had it then either. Not so much so. But Sarah was a good one. Sometimes I think she's the one that got away in some ways, but she also, like I said, had a dark side and she could be shitty. So, and I only got to know her for a short period of time. So I don't really know her. I mean, I would spend, long weekends with her, I don't know if we did 5 days, but certainly 4 days at a clip. So, and that was part of the problem. We couldn't really date. Is like we had to, it wasn't like, okay, let's go to dinner and then you go home and I'll get home. It's just, and I think she probably wasn't ready for that. And, maybe in some ways I wasn't either, but I had a good time with her. She was a lot of fun. She was very funny. And it definitely didn't hurt my ego, if I'm being honest. Because, like I said, she was a beautiful girl. And I should probably, I think that's one of the things I was going to talk about. Sort of said earlier. I wonder about. She seemed like she was doing work on herself, and this isn't to knock her. Again, I don't think she listens. Hopefully, if she does, I've said enough nice things. Um, just because I don't have any intent to hurt anybody. That's all. And again, I'm pretty sure she's remarried. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Um, I often wonder when they're a walkaway wife and they are very attractive, how much motivation they have to work on themselves. And if they don't work on themselves and they come from a bad relationship, then if you do a lot of work on yourself and you are a quote unquote good guy, and I'm not saying nice guy like fucking that fucking book. I'm just saying you're a good guy. You know how to manage your emotions. You know how to express what you want and listen to what they want. All those kinds of good things, right? Things that they probably didn't have. And if they're not doing the same kind of work, then I don't know if you're going to be compatible, because eventually it's going to sort of push up against their template, their past, right? You're not an asshole. And so therefore it's not going to work. And that's what I've experienced time and time again. I don't know that that was the factor for this one. I think Sarah was the kind of person that was doing work. So I don't think that was it. I think it was just, honestly, it was the distance. It was a very long distance. So I think I decided, I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I think I'm going to do 2 years at a time. That's the plan. So that was about, the podcast started, I think, about a year after she left. So Sarah was probably a little bit after that, maybe a year and a half. And then I'm going to have to like really rack my brain to figure out what happened after that. But as far as I'm pretty sure that's the solid first 2 years. I can't even think of any other dates or any other people of significance in that time frame. Maybe it's very possible I'm missing someone or something, and it's not my intent. It's just the way that it is. It's the way that my brain does not work as well as I would like it to. So I think that's all I got. I'll be revisiting this 2 more times. I'm going to have to sit down and really think about years 3 and 4. 5 and 6 are pretty readily available in my noggin. I think I could come up with those. And again, the intent is to not call anyone out or be a dick or throw anyone under the bus or any of those kinds of things. This is kind of giving my experience and what I have learned. And I think from from the time she left to the end of the second year, I think the thing that I learned is that it's okay to be picky, that it's okay to wait for what you want. But first, you have to figure out what that is. You have to ask yourself, what kind of qualities am I looking for? What kind of person do I want? Because let's be honest, I don't know about y'all, but when I was in my 20s, are they good looking? Are they good in bed? Do they have a job? That was about it. I didn't know anything about what's their love language, what's their attachment style, what are their values, all those kinds of things. I didn't fucking think about any of that. Never occurred to me. I didn't even know about any of that shit. So I think years 1 and 2, I learned that I needed to figure out, and again, this comes from the help of my therapist. What do I want? What do I value? Those are the questions that I needed to ask myself. And if these people don't align with that, then it's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to say, I don't think this is going to work out. And that's probably a part of why dating is so hard nowadays, because we are, all of us, I'm assuming women as well, are just, we're able to be choosier because we know, we have a better understanding, a better idea of what we want. And if you don't, then you should. Because just finding someone attractive and enjoying sex with them and them having a job is not enough for them to be a partner. There's so many other things that have to align. So I think that's my message. That's the lesson, is know yourself, know your worth, and don't settle for anything less. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you are feeling alone on this journey, please join our Discord server. Becoming a Phoenix is not a solitary act. It is one achieved through community. Our Discord server is just that, a community of men fighting to survive, thrive, and rise from their divorce. Go to risingphoenixpodcast.com/Discord for information on how to join and what is contained in our Discord server. Please join us.